Peepla the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as Peepla7 on Twitter and YouTube, Peepla elsewhere on the internet. And my blog is located at purplebutterfly-peepla.blogspot.com. And yesterday I set everything up that I was going to need, including my favorite bowl, which will melt 4 pounds of soap at one time, and it's missing. So I did my chopping. This is oatmeal and mango butter. I put it in the mold. I'm not going to melt it that way because they're not blended yet. But my other two favorite bowls, these that hold 2 pounds of soap each, I'm going to put it all in here because that was a large batch of yogurt and goat's milk soap, and that's what was left over, and they're already chopped up and mixed together congruently. And there's already a label that was in the container when I capped it up, so that label will simply go in the bag with it. See, ta-da! As long as it's in an airtight container, your soap bases will last you for quite a while. So if you need to use the container that you have it stored in, just put it in another airtight container, a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag. You can actually melt the soap in the Ziploc bag if you use that to store it. You just have to get some boiling water. Make sure you get a good quality Ziploc bag. Well, freezer bag. But I know Ziploc is waterproof, okay? You know, the kind that won't leak or break or burst when you use it this method. And you just drop it in the boiling water, let it boil for a few minutes, and then, knead it until it's a soft congruency. Or you can actually do that in the microwave. Just take the whole bag, put it in a larger container, maybe a little water to keep it from, frying. And, there's ways of working it. But I usually prefer to store them in the container that I'm going to melt them in. And when I make a whole bunch of soap and I can't do that, then we have to figure out what to do with the soap that's already in the container. Example, plastic bag. Because the yogurt soap is not going to be made another batch of until I get more goat's milk to go with it. Because that particular variety uses an equal amount of goat's milk and yogurt. That way, because I make it for my skin is sensitive and oily, which is, usually you get sensitive and dry or oily and acne. I have oily, sensitive skin with dry patches. And this is the soap that keeps my skin totally balanced and totally clear of breakouts and no overproduction of oil, so forth and so on. I haven't actually washed my face today, which means I got a little shiny going on. But now I have 2 bowls that's ready to make this oatmeal mango 7-Up cake soap. And the label, where'd that label go? Yeah, the label that came off the soap base, sorry, don't mean to look off camera like that, but I got to be able to see what I'm doing. The label that came off the soap base I had in the bowl with it. This will also go in the plastic bag. That way, at a glance, just make sure that it's facing straight upward. At a glance, I know what I have in this bag. And I will actually store this with the rest of the soaps that I have in the containers. It'll just have a twist tie or whatever. And ta-da! I have bags like these all over the place because the one advantage is you can squeeze all the air out before you put the twist tie on. That way you don't have to worry about dehydration or anything like that. But I generally use all my soap bases in such a timely manner that I really don't have to worry about dehydrating, crumbling, crackling, and all that other stuff that I hear people have when they use an old base. I get a soap base. I use a soap base. I make a soap. We use that soap. If we don't sell it, we use it for our personal use or gift it or whatever, and it's all good. So it's a hobby that's, it's fun. It's time-consuming when you have to wait a week or 2 or 4 for the curing process, But while you're waiting on those soaps to, cure, you're making more soap. So it's a fun thing to do. Y'all stay blessed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.